Good day everyone, I am Rialyn Abao, the first reporter of this group. So our last topic for this semester is about economic planning in the Philippines. Economic planning is referred to the process of managing and controlling overall economy. So maunang process nga ginabuhat sa government to improve the economy like resource allocations, setting goals, policy direction, o mag-identify silang mga programs and projects and as well as mga strategies to improve the economy. So, dito sa Philippines, ang responsible for economic planning is ang NEDA, which stands for National Economic and Development Authority. NEDA is the government independent socio-economic planning body. So back in 1935, it was National Economic Council or NEC, and then through Presidential Decree number 107 on January 24, 1973, na-establish din ang NEDA. And then NEDA is independent cabinet level agency because they are the primary agency responsible for socio-economic planning and policy coordination. So, Plan Steering Committee are the topmost decision-making body. So, ang NEDA, ang pinaka-top in the decision-making. And then, ang chairperson sa NEDA is the President Bongbong Marcos. NEDA's responsibilities include formulate comprehensive socio-economic development plans. So, NEDA will create detailed plan for improving the economy. Like, sa ilang gibuhat nga Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028. So, mo to ilang gamiton nga roadmap for improving the economy for 6 years. So, why 6 years? It is because ang isa ka term sa as I mentioned earlier nga ang chairperson sa NEDA is ang President of the Philippines, which is si Bongbong Marcos. And then, ang will know, ang isa ka term for president is 6 years. So, every administration, sila ilahang plan for economic development. Next is coordinate and monitor development programs across various government agencies. So, NEDA will ensure and monitor if kanto ba nga mga projects or program is aligned ba sa ilahang plan. Like checking on major infrastructure project under Build Better Mo program ni Bongbong Marcos, and maki-coordinate po sila sa mga agencies or department where asa to under nga mga projects or programs. Next is conduct policy research and analysis to inform economic decision-making. So, NEDA will study mga economic issues and researches mga possible solution nga ilahang gamiton to make a better decision on policy making or mga projects nga para ma-address to nga mga issues. And then, like for example, during COVID-19 pandemic, so studyhan sa NEDA kung unsa ang economic impact sa lockdown, and then after that, ilahang gistudihan kung unsaon pag-open sa economy safely while protecting the public health.
Hi everyone, so let's talk about the Philippine Development Plan or PDP. So it is a plan that helps guide the government in improving the lives of Filipinos over 6 years. So it shows what the country needs to do to grow and improve. So it includes strategies, policies, and also programs to achieve the goals of the president and to build a better future for everyone. So why is the development planning is important? So planning is important for two big reasons. So first is a shared vision. It helps the government and people to picture out where the country should be in the future, and also the efficient use of resources. It ensures that the government's money is spent on the most important things. So example, instead of mga unnecessary projects, the focus can be building on schools, hospitals, and also roads. And next is PDP 2023 to 2028. So this 6-year plan aims to create big changes in the economy and the society. So the main focus is more jobs opportunities to help more Filipinos earn money, and less poverty to improve the living condition, especially for those poor families, and equal opportunities to make sure everyone, no matter where they live, has a chance to succeed, and also the global competitiveness to make the Philippines known as a place for innovation and progress. So, what are the targets for 2020? So, here are the key goals for 2028. So, first is the economic growth. So, the goal is to make the economy grow steadily so business thrive and more jobs are created. And next is stable price. So inflation with 2.0% to 4.0%. So keep the prices of basic goods like rice and affordable for families, and better jobs. So reduce the employment by creating more job opportunities and higher paying jobs. And next is better infrastructures. So build roads, bridges, and airports to improve transportation and attract investors. And next is manage the government finances, so control the spending and borrowing to to keep the economy stable and also boost the competitiveness, make the Philippines a better place to the business by promoting innovation and reducing corruptions. And last is poverty reduction. So lift more people out of poverty by providing better education, healthcare, and also livelihood programs. Also give the people opportunities for jobs.
Good day, everyone. Today we will discuss about the Marcos administration's 8-point socio-economic agenda in the near and medium term. So first is to protect the purchasing power of families. So kani siya nag-focus siya sa pag-improve sa economic well-being of families by ensuring food security, reducing transport and logistic costs, reducing energy costs. Then the second is reduce vulnerability and mitigate scaring from the COVID-19 pandemic. So kani siya nag-address atong lasting nga impact sa COVID-19, no? So pag-tackle health and strengthen social protection and address losses. So the third is the ensure sound macroeconomic fundamentals. So kani siya nag-emphasize sa strengthening sa overall economic stability and health of the country through bureaucratic efficiency and ensuring resilient and innovative financial sector. So the fourth one is the creating jobs. So this section focus on job creation and economic opportunity by promote investment, improve infrastructure, and ensure energy security.
So good morning everyone. So in the continuation of the topic, so 8 agendas. So number 5 is create quality jobs. So first is increase atong employability. So to increase our employability, so we need to enhance the quality for our education. So in enhancing our quality of our education, we need to invest in our technical vocational training, something like that. So our skills of our people will increase and it will increase our viability. And next is invest in infrastructure, so that the more infrastructure, the more opportunities and it creates to jobs. Then advance research and development, so something like AI, biotechnology, nanotechnology, so something like that. So if we invest on that, it can help in the near future if we develop like mga drugs, no? If we develop mga tambal nga kita lang, it can help our economy. Next is enhance in digital economy, since we are at the digital age, no? So it's very important nga anytime, anywhere ta makabuwas atong transactions, you know, since nata sa digital ages.
Good day everyone, I am Rona Jane A. Lontaya, and my topic is all about the 6 cross-cutting strategies under the transformation agenda. First is digitalization. Ang example ani is si government gagamit og online portals and apps like eGov.ph para sa mga citizens to access services like passport renewals, tax payments, and business registrations. So this makes government services more accessible and convenient. Second is servicification. Example, the government initiatives to promote industries like tourism and call center, which create jobs and economic growth. So these industries focus on providing services rather than just producing of goods. Third is dynamic innovation ecosystem. Example, the government supports tech startups like Cropital. Cropital is an agri-tech startup that connects farmers to investors to fund their agricultural projects. This innovative approach is makatabang siya sa mga farmer to access the capital they need to improve their yields and also to increase their income. Fourth is enhanced connectivity. Example is the government infrastructure projects like construction of roads, bridges, and railways which connects different part of the country. So, kaning infrastructure project is maka-improve siya sa transportation and trade, making it easier for people and goods to move around.
Good day, everyone. I'm Pinky Rosinario. In continuation of the 6 cross-cutting strategies under the transformation agenda. Fifth is greater collaboration between the local and national government. So, for example, during pandemic, so the Department of Health or DOH in Upol Misamis Oriental collaborate with the international government for health program such as vaccination. That's why nangabakunahan ta. So without their collaboration, the situation would not be mitigated. Next is partnership with the private sector. So the partnership between a Upol LGU and a private internet provider, which is the Smart. This could help to improve internet access in the municipality for school and students to have free internet para makasearch sa ilang assignments and so on. So helpful kay na siya nga project para sa mga student nga dili maka-afford og load kay dili ka siya sa ilang budget. So next is what can the business sector and international community expect? So ang Philippine government is gabuhat gud sila og way para mas mapalambo ang environment sa business. Para lang dili lang inside sa Philippines maka-attract og business opportunity apil pod sa international. So isa siya ka factor nga makatabang pod siya nga maboost sa economy sa atong country.
So, good day everyone. I am Jane M. Deongson and my topic is all about the life we want. So, before ko mo proceed ana, i-discuss na ko ang Embracing Ambition natin 2040. So, early into his administration, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte issued Executive Order Number 5, 2016, approving and adopting the 25-year long-term vision entitled Ambition Natin 2040 as guide for developing planning. Ambition Natin 2040 represent the collective aspirations of Filipinos to enjoy a matatag, maginhawa, and panatag na buhay. So this was the result of various focus group discussion and a nationally representative survey undertaken by the National Economic and Development Authority or NEDA in early. So first is matatag or Filipinos are strongly rooted. So halos man jud sa mga Filipinos is nag-abroad to sustain their needs and especially para sa education sa ilang children and usapod dako pod og sweldo ang sa abroad and daghan pod og opportunity nga trabaho. That's why Rodrigo Duterte issued this executive entitled Ambition Natin 2040. So in 2040, Filipino families live together. There is work-life balance so that there is time to spend with family, even for members who work. So on weekends, families and friends enjoy time together in parks and recreational centers. It is a high-trust society with a strong sense of community. There are volunteer opportunities and Filipinos spend time to serve the community, help others who are in need, and contribute to various causes. Second is maginhawa or Filipinos are comfortable. So in 2040, no one is poor, no one is ever hungry. Filipinos families live in comfortable homes with the desired amenities and secure tenure. So families and friends are within reach because transport is convenient and affordable, and they can take a vacation together within the country and abroad. Children receive quality education so that they realize their full potentials and become productive members of society. Decent jobs that bring sustainable income are available, including opportunities for entrepreneurship. So the last one is panatag, or Filipinos are secure. Filipinos feel secure over their entire lifetime. They expect to live long and enjoy a comfortable life upon retirement. There are resources to cover unexpected expenses, and there are savings. They feel safe in all places in the country. Filipinos trust their government because it is free of corruption and provides service to all its citizens equally. So next is NIDA Undersecretary for Policy and Planning Dr. Rosemary G. Edelion, the activity's keynote speaker and guest of honor, said that it is not a plan, it is a vision Filipinos in the Philippines which could be a basis for a unity among Filipinos. She further stated the ambition's vision as in 2040, we will, we will enjoy a stable and comfortable lifestyle, secure in the knowledge that we have enough of our daily needs and unexpected expenses, that we can plan and prepare for our own and our children's future. Our family lives together in a place of our own, and we have the freedom to go where we decide, protected and enabled by a clean, efficient, and fair government. So that's all for our report.